I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me is safe to go. I will be easy with myself. I will be easy with myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
As we begin this night, we open our heart in prayer and say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to that divine essence that is right here and right now with us. Through every experience of this season, we feel the power of that divine presence, and we open ourselves to be gentle with ourselves, to love ourselves, and to allow the spirit of life and the spirit of love to move through us and bring harmony and peace into our soul. We say thank you for being with us through our tears, through our laughter, through our joys and through our sorrows. For in this life, they say there are 10,000 joys, 10,000 sorrows, or maybe more. And we open ourselves to feel the power of Spirit in each of these sacred experiences, in all the ways that we feel your presence. And we allow ourselves to be fully present here now and say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And yes. Tonight, we welcome you to our Blue Christmas service. This is a service that has been put together especially for those of us who are not feeling particularly merry and bright right now. This is somewhere to come if, despite all the decorations and the cards and the music playing in the stores, the concerts and parties and the advertisers who want you to believe that you can buy wonderful and you don't really feel very much like celebrating. Somewhere to come if the idea that a merry little Christmas is all you need to make your troubles go away has a decidedly hollow ring to it. If you are feeling any type of grief or anger, sadness or sorrow, disconnection from the festivities or your usual interests, or disconnections from others, or loneliness or hopelessness, despair or fear, this is a place for you to honor those feelings and allow yourself to experience all that is in your field. Let us together hold the sacred space with you as we acknowledge our feelings tonight. Are there any other feelings I haven't mentioned that you feel like want to be a part of this tonight? There's no wrong feelings here. All right, we hope that you'll find this a safe place to be transparent with yourself and vulnerable with the community, a safe place to admit that maybe you're not okay at the moment, that maybe what you're really feeling is sad or discouraged or angry or frustrated, a place for you to be real with the struggles and your questions, and to know you can be authentic for being and in your feelings without any judgment here. Feel the safety of knowing that you are honored for being right where you are, whilst we still hold the truth of who your essence is. We do not confuse who you are with how you are feeling, but allow both to exist in this moment. And we all need those sacred spaces. Those of us feeling a little blue at this time of year can sometimes feel edged out or forgotten, as everyone else seems caught up in the mad frenzy of their own preparations and celebrations. And we hope that as you look around you tonight and think about the Christmas message, that you'll find comfort and hope in knowing that you are not alone. You know, one of the key messages of Christmas is that you are never alone, yet you also may feel lonely. We offer you a sense of connection and community here that allows you to be you, just as you are, without any need to pretend or be anything but where you are in this moment. We are all feeling the intensity of this year, deeper than ever. There's wars, there's politics, there's all kinds of things that are publicized with horror. There are deaths and there are loss. There are experiences that we have. It seems, since we now almost instantly see images that used to take weeks or months of the ravages of war, it is so much more impactful. We know loved ones are being impacted, and our hearts are torn open at the thought of the pain and suffering for all involved. In the many ways that we have suffering in our lives, we feel deeply the challenges of a world played out differently than our desires are for peace and harmony for everyone. So let us be aware that we are also honoring and healing these global calls for peace. Do not be afraid to feel the depth of the pain, to access your heartfelt compassion, and as we together share this Blue Christmas tonight. Tonight there will be a variety of music to listen to, but we will only sing if you feel called to sing along. We honor your choices. There will be prayer and a daily word reading and a short message. There's a meditation and the opportunity to respond and participate in a meaningful ritual. After the service, prayer chaplains are available here to pray with you. We even have a prayer chaplain who is a hypnotherapist who's offered to do sessions with someone if they need that. We want to give you ways that you can find solace and support at this time of year. No love offering is expected, but baskets are always available, and we honor that. But this, as all of these times we are in, is here for us to give service to you, for us to support you in these sacred moments. And we thank all of you and all of those in service here tonight for being a participant in bringing this particular Blues Christmas service. And this is our first year to put this online, so I do want you to know it is live streamed. If at any point you feel you're uncomfortable with that, you can let us know, but we are so that others can have this experience. So I want you to be aware of that as well. And at this time, we're going to open with our daily word, and Remy Hoggett is going to come and share that with us tonight. Thank you, Remy. Come on up.
Howdy, everyone. Our daily word for today is grace. What a wonderful word that is, grace. Our affirmation, I gratefully accept God's grace. Grace is a gift. I never need to earn it or compete for it. Sometimes I may be so busy or focused on the circumstances of my life that I'm not always able to be aware of grace. But it is present in unforeseen outcomes, even when I have not made the best of choices or taken the easiest of routes. Grace is also in unexpected opportunities, where obstacles have seemed insurmountable. As I awaken spiritually, I find grace even more easily. When I place my trust in God, I make decisions from a place of trust and follow the guidance of my inner wisdom. I live in grace throughout the seasons of life, peaceful and fulfilled, safe and secure. I joyfully and gratefully accept grace with each gift of life and each moment of wonder, serenity, and love. And from Psalms 16 through 11, you show me the path of life. In your presence, there is a fullness of joy.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Give and receive. If love is why we're here, let us be an open channel. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive.
This empty chair represents those who won't be home for Christmas this year. Perhaps a relationship has ended. Perhaps the people we love will be far away. Perhaps sickness or death has changed how things used to be. I'm going to light this candle in remembrance of those. we light the first candle to remember those we have loved and lost. Whether it is this year or any time in the past, that they are in our hearts and in our minds. We miss their living presence and feel a void where they filled space in our lives, in our homes, and in our hearts in the past. These may be loved ones, friends, pets, even celebrities or musicians that we cherished for what they brought into the world. We pause for a moment now to remember their names and their faces, their voices, and the memories of them that we hold in our hearts. We give thanks for the gift of the presence in our lives, and we welcome divine comfort when we are feeling overcome with sadness. We affirm the peace that is greater than we can ever personally understand. We remember that we are always connected to the divine and to one another, whether we're near or far or in other realms.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive.
The empty chair also represents the pain and sadness that can come from other events that enter our lives, uninvited, unwanted, or just surprising. Excuse me? Oh, you want me to start again? Yes. Okay. Take two. The empty chair also represents the pain and sadness that can come from other events that enter our lives, uninvited, unwanted, or just surprising, leaving us reeling in pain or shock or disbelief, unable to shake the feeling that it wasn't supposed to be like that. We honor our struggle to accept the unexpected and to feel the powerlessness or lack of control that comes with these experiences. We acknowledge all the ways we are reminded that we do not always determine the outcome events that are in our lives, and that in some moments we feel confused or lost because of these events. So we light this candle to represent other losses that we find ourselves faced with. The loss of health, of independence, mental or emotional stability, of freedom, the loss of confidence or security, plans that did not work out, or hopes that ended in despair. And we pause now to silently acknowledge some of the losses that you are feeling at this time. We recognize that even as we ponder what we have lost, we know that we can never lose the love of God or the connection to our inner spirit. We can never be lessened by circumstances or situations, for we are whole and holy. We gently recall that wherever we are, God is, and I am more than enough, and I have the resources of divine love within me.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive.
This candle represents courage. Courage to feel your feelings. This candle represents courage. The courage to feel your feelings, to face our sadness, to share our feelings with others, our doubts, our fears, our anger, our frustrations, or depression, and to dare to hope in the deepest of our pains, even if we are not ready to move on from pain. We acknowledge the flame of hope and trust that in the right moment, we will have the inner strength and the courage to let go, to move forward, to trust that we will be guided, to know that we will be guided, and to be nurtured through every phase of our grief. We will indeed find a way to move back to the center of our being, where our divine spark, our stillness is there. We pause to acknowledge the spark within us, no matter where we are at this time. No matter how faint or strong we may feel at this very moment. Now we affirm, even in fear or grief, the courage of spirit is always available to us. We are willing, if we are willing to claim it, the courage to be vulnerable as the presence within and around us. We honor our connection to spirit, and in doing so, experience the healing and the renewal of us.
If love is why we're here, let us be the open channels. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive.
We light this fourth candle to remember those who have supported us in our pain. We pause to remember the prayers, the words of comfort and support, the acts of kindness from family and friends, and those who stood with us in our time of need. Let us remember the texts, the phone calls, the emails, as well as those that showed up for us in any way that encourages, supports, or inspires us to feel connected, appreciated, accepted, or seen, and heard. Maybe it's someone who just sat with us and let us cry, or listened to our woes or tales so we could verbally process our pain. It may have been someone who sat in silence with us, or kept us in their prayers and thoughts. Even if we don't always know who prays with us and for us, let us know someone is praying for us even now. There are those that lift all who are suffering in their daily prayers. We feel the support of the divine and the individuals near and far, and we feel a deep gratitude even during our challenges. We are grateful for the others, friends, families, strangers, even who remind us that we are never alone. All those that may say just the right thing at the right time, or show up with a hug or a bowl of soup or a prayer. And we are grateful for the reminder of the light of spirit that is alive within us.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive.
I don't know about you, but this is so moving for me, and I think for all of us. This is a time when we're going to take a moment to move into meditation and really meditate on the value and the love that we have experienced, whether it's the ones we've lost, the experiences that are challenging for us. We also know that these are moments that we recognize so much in the presence that is there for us. And we are going to acknowledge this time for a moment, and then we're going to be moving into a time to share what's on our hearts. If we have loved ones, some of you may have brought a memento. I know some of us put mementos up here to represent our loved ones. And we're going to invite those that are willing to come and share about what they're feeling their loss about, what's on your heart. It is a very powerful time, and I'll hold the microphone for everybody so you don't have to be worried about that, and we'll just stay down here, but I think it will, I may mess you all up there, right, with the video? Okay, you'll be able to follow us. Thank you. But I think it's a very important time for us to acknowledge those people or the situations that we're grieving and allow ourselves to give voice to that which is in our hearts. So first, let's just take a moment, and we're going to listen in to this music while we move into meditation.
Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. That morning lonely exile here, until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to you, O Israel. Oh, come, O wisdom from high, who watered all things mightily. To us the path of knowledge shows, and teach us in the way to go. Rejoice,
invite you to take a moment and close your eyes if you're willing, and just open yourself to this experience of all the feelings that are here, all the sadness or the grief, the loss, the sense of calling forth something greater within you, the wisdom of your soul, to know that you will make it through these experiences and that these are here to uplift you and bring you through whatever experiences you need to have, whatever sadness or grief or anger or fear, to allow those feelings to come forth and be set free, to be felt fully and realized until you're ready to move into something else, and to allow yourself to be exactly where you are with all the things that are there. And as we open ourselves, we move into a moment of silence to honor ourselves and all of the many things we feel right now. We allow our hearts to be gentle with ourselves and one another. I invite you as you're ready, and I'll begin just to give an example. I'm going to take this off of here a minute, Bobby, if you want to mute a second. I'm going to invite each of you that want to come and acknowledge someone in your life to come and light a candle for them and place it here in the midst of this salt that we have, the salt of the earth, and let us honor these loved ones with a candle. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to let this candle be there for two of my aunts and an uncle that I lost this year. And one of them, Aunt Nancy, was known for, well, she was one of those kind of dry wits and humors. And she also was great at homemade quilts and things. And I didn't have a homemade quilt with me, but I did an angel wrap, an angel blanket, because she loved to do things like angels on her quilts and make lap quilts and things for people, and lived up in Minnesota. They had been in Minneapolis for years, but then moved up north where they were in a very small community, and she got involved in theater and things towards the end, and she by her dry wit would get people laughing around her, and I have such fond memories, and I didn't get to say goodbye. And so it breaks my heart that I didn't know, she was going, but I also know she knows. She knows that I love her and that I feel her presence, and I give thanks for the ways that she brought comfort to my life and to so many others, as she made these beautiful quilts and she shared her spirit and her wisdom with the world. I also have another aunt that, well, let me do my uncle first. So my uncle really didn't want to be here after my aunt left, and he passed shortly thereafter, after her leaving. And both of them were, quite elderly. They'd lived long and beautiful lives. And my uncle, I'll share a little story about him. This was Aunt Nancy and Uncle Kent. And when I was going through a difficult time, one time in Arizona, they invited me to come up and stay with them in Minnesota. And, and they had kind of a cabin-like home out in the woods. And it was just beautiful. Even though they were in kind of that area, they were at the edge and always were very involved in outdoors and woodsy things and hunting and fishing and all of those kind of things. And I was not too much into all of that stuff, as much the hunting and fishing, though I loved the outdoors. And so when I was there, my uncle had several deer skins. And a part of me, I kind of looked at him and I touched my heart, and he said, let me tell you, Kyra, I would like you to take one of these. And he goes, but I want to tell you how I work with the animals. And I said, okay, Uncle Kent. And I said, that's such a beautiful offering. And he goes, well, before I do a hunt, I pray and I send blessings out to the animals. And I ask only the one that wants to give itself to give itself. And I make sure that every single part of that animal is used in a way that is beneficial. And you talked about wanting to do ceremonies and wanting a ceremonial cloth. And I would like you to use this as a ceremonial cloth and to recognize that that honors this animal. And I was like, whoo. I'm like, okay, he just got me. He got who I am, and I really had a new appreciation and understanding for my uncle in that moment. And so Uncle Kent, he continued to do outdoors things as much as he could, and I had such a respect after that for his gentle, he had a gentle way of being about him. So I'm honoring my Uncle Kent. And then I have another aunt, Aunt Kay, and I put this little tree out here for her because she loved the outdoors and lived in Iowa, and you know, they had kind of farming kind of area things and grew up in that area. But she also loved her baubles and beads and loved her fun. She was somebody who laughed all the time. And so as Aunt Kay, again, I didn't get to see any of them before they passed. And they were in Iowa, Nebraska. She was in Nebraska and in Minnesota. But Aunt Kay was somebody that even when I was young, she would tell me stories that I would go, oh, is it okay for her to tell me that story? She would always keep me laughing and expanding my way of understanding life. So I miss them all, and I bless them in their journey and say thank you for letting me share this moment about my beloved family. And anybody who would like to come and share anything is acceptable. Yeah, come on, Helen. If you want to light a candle first. It's okay. Crying is definitely allowed.
I don't know if I can get through this.
That's okay.
I know. I have 3 people I've missed so much. One is my mom. And she was just very demanding. Made sure I got a good education, took good care of my body, and gave so much love all the way. The last word she said to me was, I love you.
Perfect.
I can't compare. So I miss her, and we used to have these long conversations. So I missed her, but fortunately, she had a very full life, and we were able to really celebrate her life and her service, and the community that she gave so much to came out in full force. And it was just wonderful that I grew up in that kind of a community of love, and she made sure, and I had a great father too, but she made sure that her children did well and got good grounding and morals, and God had a lot of good Christian education. And that education meant you gave back to your community. Mm-hmm. And so that's what her motto in life is. She always wanted to give back to her community, and she did that. She taught in a school that had migrant workers. In those days, they were called migrant workers, and their children were in her school. And we had to go and be in her school because she wanted us to understand what these children were going through and what these families were going through. So I had that kind of an education too. The other person that I had has lost my brother, and I just feel a huge emptiness inside of me again. We just spent so many hours every weekend. We had this long conversation about anything, from politics to art to whatever, and I just really miss that. I don't have anybody like that. I may have people in my life, but we can't spend an hour on the phone talking about something. Nobody does that anymore. It's all email. And then of course we lost our son. And I lost my mother-in-law. So I feel like my husband and I always talk about we don't have a family. You know, we used to go to these huge Christmas doo-doos and the holidays, but we don't have anything. I brought this. I spent a month with my mom in China. And this is one of the things that she bought there. And sandalwood, it's a fan made out of sandalwood. And I don't know why she bought it, but she did. And I treasure it because she did buy it. So I got through this almost.
You did beautiful. Thank you, Helen. Oh, that's so beautiful. We honor you and your family. Yeah. Who else would like to share? Speak of a loved one or someone they're missing. Yeah, Sanders? No, I can't.
Taking a deep breath. So
Okay.
I can't hear myself.
It's all right. You want me to hold it or you?
I'll hold it. I don't think I've shared this with close people and family, but with grief is a funny thing, and how I process it, I just tried to ignore it for the longest time. Around this time of year, it surprises me that all those feelings come flooding right back, and I'm like, why? Because I put that Band-Aid over it 6 years ago around this time. My best friend committed suicide. She did that before her birthday, not like the day before or anything, but she left at 20 years old. She was just love and light. And I've had a really hard time connecting with people, no matter what age, no matter, just people, since she's left, because it was so unexpected. I also did not get to say goodbye. I can't remember what her voice sounds like, but I do know that she was silly. And she was always making people laugh, and she was kind of one of those people that you could meet 5 people and they all knew her somehow. So it's like, wow, the world became such a small place because she was just so connected, just an example of, again, love and light. But when I lost somebody like that, it left me with such a darkness, like a void I couldn't fill. And, I've been trying for years, and just until this year or last year when I moved to this area and I kind of got a fresh start at meeting new people and letting more people in, I've started to kind of replace this feeling of I'm replacing her, other than, I'm honoring the lessons that she taught me, and trying to show that same love and that same compassion. But it's tough. It really is, because, in those times that I can't remember her voice, or I don't have a lot of pictures of her, or recordings of her, and so it puts me in a panic when I can't remember certain things, or I can't resurface certain memories. But I know she wouldn't want me to give up. She was in school, didn't finish, but she went around saying how she was going to be, her last name was Xavier, so she said, call me Professor Xavier, Professor X, even though she didn't have a doctorate or anything, But I'll always remember her and all those like silly little things people say, so.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. Who else would like to share? Okay.
Okay, here we go. Well, on this journey of awakening, my heart is opening. And there are a lot of memories about my father who died when I was 12, then I'm still carrying the grief, and I don't want to anymore. So I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to go to his funeral, which was a big thing for me. And he loved me dearly. He called me Mija. Mija. I was Mija. And so I know he loved me dearly, and I love him. And so if I can just let that go and be at peace with it. Because I'm growing, and thank you for that. And in this journey of growth and awakening, we have to shed all that baggage and be light. And so that's what I want to be, is light.
Awesome. You are. You are, sweetheart.
Let me light
Light a candle for him.
I will. And there's his little picture. I don't have many pictures of him. This is one of them.
Oh.
Sweet man. Sweet man. Sweet man. Which one will we go with? Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah, there's no time limit on our grief as to when we carry it and how long we carry it. Who else would like to speak? Anyone else? There's so many. There are so many that we carry in our hearts and in our souls, and the friends and the loved ones and the family members. And there are things that we carry about our own experiences in life that may or may not be things that we talk about, but we've had experiences that we mourn parts of ourselves that no longer are in existence or we're no longer operating from, or ways that we've handled things in our past. I mean, there's many ways that grief can affect us. So know that there is no right or wrong way. Christopher, did you want to say anything? I just saw you had your stuff up here. We're honoring your loved ones. No, thank you. Okay, not necessary at all. Wendy?
Okay, let's see if I can do both of these. We have somebody online that would like a candle lit for,
What are you doing? Okay.
oh, go for it. Their brother Mike, their mother Marjorie, Father Joe, Bill K., Carol S., and Michael S.P. Yeah. And for those online, as well as those of us here who have lost family time back and have been healed, and we're moving through, let this candle represent the peace that they've given us by their lives we shared.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, and thank you for letting us honor your loved ones, those of you joining us online, and let us light a candle for those that will join this live stream at another time. And for all of their loved ones and those that they wish to acknowledge, I want to do one more candle for them, because they may not be here lighting this candle now, but we know that there is no time or distance in space in the eternal. And so we honor all of these beautiful souls and the many others that I know are in your hearts and your minds, and the different aspects of life that we are feeling sadness about. And so thank you all for being willing to offer and open your heart. And we're going to turn it over to Jarrett and Ellen.
Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dream till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dream till your soul is released. Beloved child, my heart is yours. Beloved child, go out and open doors with your love, with your faith, with your compassion, with your grace, oh, with your grace. Beloved child, you are the light of the world. Beloved child, go out, spread light in the world. Be strong, be kind, be brave. Know your mind, know that you're divine. Know that it's all right to be afraid. Know that you're loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dream till your soul is released. Know that you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dream till your soul is released.
I'm going to light a couple more candles because I can. And it's coming to me of a couple of things, the people that we have not acknowledged, and I would like to. One is Ana Arango in our congregation, who has, this was the first year we haven't been able to go and sing to her as she looked over her balcony for Christmas carols, and we missed that this year. And we see her in a divine state now, but we miss her. And I want to say this, that we have many that have experienced extreme health challenges, those that are going through those out right now in our lives, our loved ones and different folks, as well as those that in our midst have gone through. And whenever we do that, we feel betrayed by our body. We struggle with understanding how to overcome the experiences that we've had. And I want to say this, light this candle in honor of the losses we feel in our physical body at different times along the way in our journey. And to know that we are so grateful for the ways that we are strengthened and supported along the way in those things. But I want to acknowledge that that is a big loss for many people when their body's no longer doing things the way they've done them in the past. And it's a challenge. So everyone that struggled with a health challenge. and anyone who has struggled with feeling separate or left out. Feeling separate, left out, condemned by society, afraid to be who they are. I light this candle, that they have the courage and the strength to know that there are those that will surround them and love them and support them, and that they don't have to be alone in the world. Those are all big things that I feel in my heart. And those that are feeling the struggle in various ways of the separation in our society, in our country, the divisions that are there, in our world where the wars are. There are so many ways we feel separation. We feel separation from one another, and we feel separation from God. And one of the things I learned when I came to Unity early on was that the most challenging thing for us in our society, in our world, is our belief that we could ever be separate from the divine, separate from the God source, separate from one another, that we are one interconnected whole. But that feeling of feeling alone is a very prevalent in our society, or feeling that we don't have that connection supporting us. And so I light that candle for, reclaiming our oneness and our connection. And I'm going to turn it over to Remy now for a moment.
I get a stand. They don't trust me to hold it on my own.
Well, you could.
Medical intuitive and spiritual leader Carolyn Mace has said, "We are not meant to stay wounded. We are supposed to move through our tragedies and challenges, and to help each other move through the many painful episodes of our lives. By remaining stuck in the power of our wounds, we block our own transformation. We overlook the greater gifts inherent in our wounds, the strength to overcome them, the lessons that they teach us, what we are meant to receive through them. Wounds are the means through which we enter the hearts of other people. They are meant to teach us to become compassionate and wise. During this time, I invite you to think earlier to the word of the day, to give yourself grace, to process. May your experience this evening awaken greater compassion and wisdom within you."
As we prepare to close this, I know that this isn't the end of the experiences and the feelings and the different things that we go forth with, but may you also find a spark of hope. May you also know that you're not out here alone feeling some of the grief of some old wounds or some newer wounds, some experiences that have kept you struggling in the world. And may you instead recognize that there are those around you that support you and wish to uplift you, and that we come through the grief and the pain to rise into a new day and a new dawn. That as we allow ourselves to feel it fully, it gets set free. And we are no longer in bondage to those old thoughts that keep us in those patterns of staying in that grief. It will still rise. Grief comes like waves, and one day we're good, and the next way, bam, it takes us under. And yet, at the same time, the more we give ourselves permission to honor and experience all those feelings fully, we find that it starts to wane a little at a time, and we're able to rise into a new appreciation for what we've experienced and the beauty of the relationships and the experiences that we've had, because our life is rich because of these experiences, because of the people that we have known, because of the opportunity to gain in courage and strength in our own lives. And there are many ways that we are called to lift ourselves by first allowing ourselves to and accepting ourselves with whatever we're feeling in the moment. then the grace rushes in. It's like once we allow it, then the light rushes in and takes over, and we feel something kind of lifting on the wings of spirit in our soul. And I invite you to give yourself permission, if you need more time to feel the grief that you feel, to feel the sadness, to be frustrated with all the twinkly lights or whatever it might be. Give yourself permission to have those experiences. But also give yourself permission to allow the healing, the understanding, the gratitude for the life that you've had and the gifts of those beings and the love that is there behind it. Because we grieve because we love. We grieve greatly because we love greatly. And so we want to remember that underneath it all, there is a great love. There's a love that is greater than any of us can ever know, that comes from a divine source. And so we allow that love to refill us and move us forward and take us through those waves and begin to gentle them so that those waves are not just crashing over us, but they come through and there's another level of release, but it's one that doesn't feel as earth-shattering as the previous. So give yourself permission and to honor all the ways you feel, and then to know that you are loved and you are supported, and there are those around you that will always love and support you and help lift you through every experience. And we say thank you to all of those that have shared and all of those that are carrying that information in your hearts and souls. And we say thank you to one another for creating a chalice of love here where we could feel safe and supported. And thank you to each of you for bringing your presence and bringing your light into the world. Because of your having those deep experiences, you bring something greater and more profound out into the world. And we are truly grateful for that, for each one of you. We want to say thank you to Ellen and Jarrett for the beautiful music tonight that has touched our soul. And thank you to our beautiful audio-video team back here and all the ways that you all have supported us in bringing this out to the public. And we're grateful for those of you that joined us online and that will join us online. And so my heart is full in gratitude for each one of you and those that are a part of this and those that will be. And so we're going to allow this to close now with some music.
I am surrounded by love. 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 You are surrounded by love. Surrounded by love. You are surrounded by love. You are surrounded by love. We 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 are surrounded, we are surrounded, we are surrounded, we are surrounded.
God bless you all and have a fabulous night and a blessed season in whatever way blesses you. Good night.